Hello, P.O.O.R.S. Welcome back. It's been a week. Just to get it out of the way, love you, babe, love you, son, love you, daughter. All right, so it's been a long week. I've already put in, almost 36 hours just over Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And trying to stretch it out for 12 hours the next 2 days, so I hit as close as I can to my 60 before the weekend, because I guess if we have any hours left, they want us to work because sales screwed up again. So, if I only have an hour left, there's nothing really I can do, so they can't make me work. And I've got plans this weekend. Might even go out on the boat since my son got it going with his friends. Just went down to Secretary of State today after having the boat for 4 years since my dad died and left it to me. I finally got it switched over to my name. It took forever. I procrastinated. I thought for sure the engine was cracked because I didn't get around to winterizing it before the snow and everything hit. And I figured with the cold, it probably cracked the engine and it was gonna be fucked. But he and his buddies, they worked on it, checked it out, fired her up, even took it out on the lake, and it runs just fine. Just needs a little tune-up, I guess, because they have to use starting fluid when they want to start it. But at least the engine is still good. And so now it's in my name after procrastinating for 4 years. And I think from now on, come wintertime, I'm going to winterize it, since the first 3 years of my working life, I worked at a marina. I know how to do all this stuff. I was busy, didn't get around to it. I need to get my shit together and figure that out. I was also drinking at that time, and that didn't help. I didn't do shit when I was drinking. So, been sober over 2 years now. Finally have ambition to do things when I'm not working 12 hours a day. But I think from now on, I'm going to winterize it, and we're just going to pay for like a storage unit or something to store it in for the wintertime. Because up until it's a 1988 Sylvan 17-foot fishing ski boat, and it still looks basically brand new, even though we used it a ton. When I was a kid, I used it a ton, used to take my friends out. We'd swim out in the middle of the lake, just mess around on it, whatever. And so now my son gets to do that. And now that I know that he likes fishing, I can take him out fishing on it. I mean, the kid's 18. I've never taken him hunting. I've never taken him fishing. That's all stuff that I did growing up with my friends and my dad a little bit. Didn't really care to be around him all that much because he was the type that you could never make him happy. He always got yelled at, disciplined, whatever. So it was usually me and my friends would do all that stuff, on our own. But with me working so much, with them growing up, I was the one doing the majority of the work. And there was one whole year where, I was away for the whole week except for like 34 hours on the weekend to reset my clock. And then I was back out on the road when I first started trucking. And so I missed quite a bit of a lot of their stuff and their life. My wife, at least she got to be there for everything for the kids. So they had at least one parent there, and she worked, but she didn't have to work like full time. And there were stretches where she didn't have to work at all. So I think it was good for her because the kids are everything to her. And it was definitely good for the kids. It was better that they had her, and me working than having both of us and me not working and us struggling even more, financially. So, anyhow, he likes to fish. I still haven't taken him hunting. I think he might have gone hunting with one of his friends when he was younger. I'm not sure. He likes to golf. He started golfing with his friends. I used to golf all the time. I inherited my dad's clubs, and he got the other set of his clubs, so we can go golfing now. Now that he's an adult, we can do all these things. And because my job's changed when they had the reroute, it kind of spread the routes out between everybody. So I went from super long days to, 9, 10 hours a day, except for this week because we have a driver off and we're still short drivers, which I don't know why we can't find a swing driver that'll stick around. I mean, we all have tons of vacation to use, and we can't just use it when we want to because we don't have someone to fill in. And they're starting the swing drivers out at like $28.50 an hour, and there's guaranteed overtime, like at least 10 hours of overtime every week. But people don't want to work. I don't understand. They just want to drive. They don't want to do anything else except for drive the truck. Well, that's not our job. We drive the truck to the stores, deliver the product, go to the next store, deliver the product. It's not a drive to a warehouse, drop off a trailer, pick up another trailer, drive to another warehouse. It's not that kind of trucking job. But you're home every night. You're not away from your family. Good benefits. But no, I mean, we'll hire somebody and they'll stick around for like a day or two and then decide, oh, it's just not for me. Well, good luck finding anything that pays that well around here that you're not going to have to work harder for than what we're doing. The way we have it now is so easy compared to when I first started. One of the other worker that's been there, the only one that's been there longer than me, we had the 2 longest routes before, and we would leave our warehouse when the bars were getting out, so like 2:30 in the morning, and we would get back at like 7:30 at night, totally breaking the law when it comes to hours of regulation, for driving and everything like that. But back then, the company didn't make us keep logs or anything like that. And there's still some like beer companies that they don't keep logs and they're out, way over the drive time limits, just like we used to be. Well, then somebody from our company, I don't know, I don't think it was from our state. It might have been maybe somebody in a different part of the state. Anyhow, they got pulled over by DOT. They were way over on their hours, like when they should have been back. And so our whole company got flagged. And that's when they made us start punching in and punching out to keep track of how long we worked. So that ended our 17-hour days, and 12 hours is the max that they want us to work now, even though we can technically work 14. They don't want us going over 12. They don't even want us going over 10, but they route us for over 12. Like, it should be over 12, but we either bring stores back or, hustle our asses to get stuff done. But what they'll do, because the system, I guess, it doesn't let them route over 10 hours in a day. So they'll go in and they'll fudge the delivery times and the drive time to make it fit, in that 10-hour span. But they're really scheduling you for like 12 hours or more in a day, which is fine. I mean, if I'm going to get 20 hours of overtime a week, I'm not going to really complain about it, because at least now I'm getting paid for it. Because we used to be base pay and then commission on top of that. Our commission was always like around double what our base pay, because our base pay was for 40 hours a week. Well, a lot of us would work like 75, 80 hours a week, and we'd only get paid for 40, because we didn't clock in and clock out, and it was basically salary and commission. But the longer hours you worked usually meant the more you were delivering, so that meant your commission was higher, and blah, blah, blah. Well, then they gave us the choice to switch to hourly if we wanted, after decades, after putting in all those long-ass hours. So I figured it out. The other driver, that's the one that's been there longer than me, he figured it out. And with even with no overtime, it was like $20,000 more a year than what we were making. And that was with working like 40 hours a week. Add on top of that the overtime, and it was definitely, yes, we're going to take hourly over what we were at. So we're like, are you sure? Because you only get one chance to pick, and if you pick to go hourly, you can't go back if you don't like it. And we're like, yeah, put us on hourly. So they did. Then they did a reroute. So my route, which was the longest route, got cut in half, but I still make more because they changed up how I run my route, and they're running me these long days when they used to send me out to do this one stretch all in one day. So I only had like one long day a week. Well, now the way they have it routed, they split it up so that I'm driving that long route like twice a week. Well, you can't go faster than the speed limit, and you can't make up all that drive time just by snapping your fingers. So that right there is extra time and extra money. So usually about 4 or 5 hours into Thursday, that's when I start hitting overtime. And I've still got the rest of Thursday, all of Friday. So it's not a bad gig. And the work is so much easier now. We don't have to bust our asses and injure ourselves trying to get done in time. And we still get paid more. So I'm happy. I just don't understand why we can't find someone else that'll stick around and work. It's freaking pathetic. I don't know. It's picking between working at McDonald's for $16 an hour and driving for us, where they'd probably be up to $29 an hour within 6 months or something like that. We get a raise every year. Anyhow, how you guys been? I have thoughts. I'm sorry I haven't gotten a video out. I know it's been a little bit, but I've been busy, and I have thoughts in my head for the next one. I have lots of thoughts for like 2 or 3 of them. Sorry. I'm just trying to figure out which one I want to do next. And then I had ideas for the P.O.O.R.S podcast, the last time I started this podcast, I said the P.O.O.R.S podcast. Now I can't remember if I said it again at the beginning of this one. This is the Mask Off podcast. Pretty sure that's what I said. Not entirely sure. I'm recording this without stopping, so bear with me. But for the P.O.O.R.S podcast, which has just been sitting dormant, it's going to be the visual one, kind of like Your Mom's House type, that type of thing. Tim Dillon, whatever. I want to do interviews because I like getting to know people, interesting things about them, fucking with them. But my dilemma is privacy and where I'm at. I can't really bring people here. One, for privacy. I don't want people knowing who I am, where I live. There's only a select few that do. And obviously I wear a mask. So if that doesn't scream privacy, I don't know what does. But I have a twist to where I'll still be able to interview people, but there's going to be a surprise to it, a uniqueness to it, kind of like my podcast with wearing a mask. It's unique. I mean, there are other people that do it, but they don't have the same kind of mask as I do. God, I got to quit smoking. These freaking Newports are killing me. As I say that after smoking them for 16, 17 years. Let me take a drink. Hold on. Coffee, not alcohol. All right. So, my interview process, I don't really want to say what it is because it'll ruin the surprise. But I do need to wait until I have a webcam right now that I had bought, but it was just a cheap one. And because I was just testing out some software that would work for doing video stuff, whatever. And so I need to get a really good webcam because I'm going to have to use my phone for the interview part. Now you might say, well, you just told us what you're going to do. You're going to interview people over the phone. Well, there's a twist to it that you're going to have to wait and see how it happens. And I need to make sure I have my new computer before I do any of that also, because my wife's computer cannot handle like streaming and all the stuff that I'll need to do. So I'm going to do some, in my mind, these are my plans. I'm going to do the first few, taped, and then I'm going to edit them, do whatever, just to make sure everything's going good. And then it's going to eventually switch to a live podcast. So we're going to do the interview stuff. Anything can happen. And it's going to be live. I'm hoping like once a week. Kind of like Kill Tony. It's going to be a live podcast. Hopefully we get bigger than Kill Tony. Doubtful, because I don't have the production crew and all that stuff that they got going on, or the money. I'm hoping I can get my computer here in the next week or two. That would be awesome. but we'll see. My wife, she actually put in quite a bit of overtime, I think last week and maybe this week too. And with my overtime, and we got rent paid for the next 2 months. So I think I might actually be able to get my computer. Fingers crossed. I got her a gift. I'll tell you, because I don't think she even listens to the podcast. And her gift is supposed to be showing up Friday. It's just not any special occasion. Just I saw it online and I thought I need to get that for her. Because she's been saying to me for well over a year that all she wants to do is hug a fluffy-haired cow. Like, I can't remember the name of the cow that it is, but it's the kind that they've got like the furry head, and all that. So I was on Facebook the other day and I came across a thing where you can buy these stuffed cows like that, like the kind that she wants to hug. So I ordered her one. It was only like $40 or something like that. And yeah, I know, we're in our 40s. I got her stuffed animal. Well, she's still kind of a kid at heart when it comes to that. And she'll get where I'm coming from, because you could personalize a card and everything. And I said, "Hun, just thinking about you," or something to that effect. And hope this holds you over until you get to hug the real thing. Because I was looking into places and to take her to go to hug them. And they're quite a ways away, and you got to buy tickets ahead of time and all that. And just trying to coordinate our schedules is a nightmare. So at least for now, she knows that I hear her. God, I'm going to have to end this, man. My throat is jacked the fuck up right now. But yeah, so that's supposed to be here Friday. And she doesn't know that it's coming. I told her I was getting her something, and she was throwing out guesses, but it wasn't even close. So I think she'll be happily surprised. And, by the way, passed my DOT physical. Yay. So I've got another 2 years on my medical card. So I'm good to go. And my throat's killing me. I need to get to bed anyhow, because I got another 12-hour day tomorrow. So that's what's in the works. Those are the plans. Hopefully they all come together. If you believe in a God, pray to your God that I get my computer. Okay? Okay. Love you guys. Stay sinful. Stay safe. I'll get at you later. Peace.